welcome back to Book and Prejudice. My name is Mar, and today we're going to be chatting about all of the books that I've added to my TBR shelf in the last few months, as well as what it is that I'm going to be reading until the end of 2024. Now, I want to start this video by prefacing, it's been my birthday. I turned 26, and all I asked was for gifts that were books. So I got gift cards, I got books, I got everything book related, which means that we have a hell of a lot of things to go through right now, for which I'm sorry. But also, I don't know what I want to be reading until 2025 starts, so we're going, you and me both, blind into this video. We're gonna do our best. We might fail. So let's grab our drink of choice. I got a tea here, and let's get going with the video, shall we? Alright, let's start with the first pile of books, which is already my floor, which is very convenient. This is the smallest pile of books that we have as well. So let's get started. No order whatsoever, because I don't have it yet. I don't know. As I said, blind. The first book we have in this pile is The Absolute Book by Elizabeth Knox. This was a birthday gift for my husband. Thank you very much. And his goal is to make sure that I read other things that don't involve dragons and murder. So this is his attempt. This book is, first of all, it's a book about books, which we all know how we feel about it in this channel. Love a good book about books. And it narrates the story of Harren Cornick, whose sister got murdered, and she kind of has blacked out all of these memories, and they're starting to come back to her. Something about an absolute book, maybe, perhaps. We'll see. Very excited to read this. Looks really spooky. Looks really vibey. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We don't know. We never know. My whole life is a surprise to myself. But this is the first one here, and in true tradition in this marriage, dedicated. The next one we have is Rouge by Mona Awad. I love Mona Awad. She confuses the heck out of me, but I love her. She is the author of Bunny. I read Bunny years ago. I still don't know what Bunny was about, but I'm very excited about it. And in this book, we follow Belle, whose mother recently passed away, and she finds out that she's part of a cult, specifically a beauty cult, and it kind of goes from there. I don't know where, because you never know with this author. My mother-in-law has actually read this book, which I'm a bit concerned about, because I did recommend it to her. And she said that it was weird, but she couldn't put it down. Which checks out in true Mona Awad book. So, also, I just really want to read this one too. I really want to read every single book that I'm going to be showing you. Okay, the next one is What Are You Looking For? What You Were Looking For Is in the Library by Michiko Aoyama. Another book about books, thank you very much. Mind your own beeswax. And I got this actually in our trip to Aberdeen. We took a little trip to Aberdeen, my husband and I, a few months ago, and I bought this book in a Blackwell's, which I was very happy about, in the old town in Aberdeen. I don't know what it is about. I generally bought it because of the cover, and because I know that I'm gonna like it. Books about books, it's a sure win for me. Oh, this is very long, but it's gonna be fantastic. I already know this is my vibe, but I don't know, maybe this is more of a spring book because it has flower? I don't know. Now the next one might be a bit weird. It's called Libertad Inmobiliaria. It's by Carlos Galán. My dad got this for me. I work in the real estate sector. I really like the real estate sector. My dad got me a book about real estate. So I'm actually really keen on reading this to learn a bit more. It's about how to invest in real estate. That's what it is about. It's not long. It's like a non-fiction book, but I am very keen on reading it because I think it's going to be very helpful for my career. So we want to succeed. I'm a working gal. Next up we have, I'm so excited for this book. This book I've actually been daunted by ever since I first saw it in the bookshelves years ago. I think either right before the pandemic or right after the pandemic. I don't know, maybe I'm a bit warped in my time frames. But this is Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, by Susanna Clarke. Now, I've only heard great things about this book. And I've only ever seen it in that classic, I'll try to pop it somewhere else, black cover with like the silver. This is obviously not a black cover without the silver. And I've always been really keen on reading it, and I've never done it. And yesterday I went with a friend to Waterstones because they had gotten me a gift card, so I thought it'd be nice the two of us to go together. And I saw this copy and I said, you know what? It's so different to the other ones that I've seen. I'm gonna get it because I've been waiting for that initial push. So I got it. I got it. Look how pretty it is in the inside. Like, look at that beautiful color. It's so heavy. And like, look at the inside. I actually don't know what this book is about, which is a trait here. 1806, England is beleaguered by a long war with Napoleon. That looks fun. I don't know when I'm gonna read this book because this is a chunk of a boy. Maybe I'll read it over Christmas. Like, I feel like this could be maybe a good Christmas book, but it's so thick. I don't know. We are taking a car to my in-laws, probably, so at least I can pack up strong stuff. That's our first pile. Let's go to the next pile. 1 second, please, because I have to grab it. There's so many books in here, like, it's just ridiculous. Like, this is our second pile. There's another pile left, guys. Next up, we have the first 2 books on Stacia Stark's series. Accord this cruel and lovely. Oh my god. And A Kingdom This Cursed and Empty. I'm really excited to read them. They look really pretty. It's actually 4 books. Oops. I'm getting so old. It's actually 4 books here. But I only had the first 2 because I didn't want my husband to think I was deranged. So this is the best option that I could come up with. 2 books. Off they go. We also have, this is in French actually. It's called La Première Gorgée de Bière et autres plaisirs minuscules by Philippe Delerme. I went to Paris for our first wedding anniversary with my husband, and I went to a little library, bookshop rather, and I said, hi, my vocab's not great, but I really want to read in French. What do you recommend? And they recommended specifically this book. They said it's like little stories, like short stories, little snapshots of like memories, and he said it was really cute. And he got me a picture of the old bookshop, how it used to look before he bought it, and the bookshop was called Libraire Fontaine. Voila. Very excited to read this. A bit daunted by it. I speak French okay, but it's hard to read in French, I will say. Alright, next time we have Academia Minerva by Mari Carmen Fonbuena. My cousin's best friend actually wrote this book. Very excited to read it because it's like a magic school setting, which gotta love it. And my cousin got it for my birthday, and very specially she got it dedicated to me by the author, and I'm so excited to read it. I feel like this is gonna be like a fun read as well. I really try to read as much as I can in Spanish because it's very hard for me to come across Spanish books. And I'm very grateful that my cousin is like a source of Spanish books that are fun, and she likes to read similar books to me. So I can always count on her to have fantastic recommendations, and apparently fantastic writer friends. So very excited to read this one. Next up we have The King's Witches by Kate Foster, another one of Greg's birthday gifts this year, which means, if I'm not mistaken, woohoo, dedicated by the husband. I don't know what this book is about, but it has royalty and there's secrets within a marriage. I don't know. It looks really fun. The inside is also really pretty. Like, it's this really nice red shade. But also has shells. So we'll see. I'm very excited to read it. Greg always gets me really good books that I wouldn't personally pick up otherwise. So it's always fun to pick them up. Next up we have another French book. Cultured, dare I say. And it is Le Royaume Crépusculaire, which translates to the crepuscular reigns? Like the... I don't know, like I know what it translates to, but I don't know the English word for it. The Twilight Realms, I think would be the most accurate representation. And I bought this book in FNAC in France, which is very funny because there's also an FNAC in Spain where I'm from, but this one is a Parisian FNAC, okay? And I'm very excited to read it because it's a fantasy. My French teacher very kindly did some research for me and told me what fantasy books by French authors I would enjoy. And she said this was one of them. And it also has 8 stories within like this book, which means I have 8 books that I can read. And I think this is one that I'm gonna start reading kind of parallelly to the rest of my books, if I'm honest with you. Also, whilst in France, we noticed their books are a lot nicer than the ones we get here in the UK. Like UK covers, sure, they can be nice, they have the Waterstones editions and everything. But French books, we were like, first of all, the paper, much higher quality. The books are also longer, like actually like longer, which I thought was quite funky. But like the covers were freaking stunning. Like look at this. This looks like that's cloth. It's gorgeous. Anyways, I think I'm gonna be reading this one pretty soon because it looks pretty fun. Just don't know what it is about. Like my French teacher who said, and I was just like, you should read this. I was like, okay, I found it, I bought it, I own it. Hey, hey. And the last book of this pile, it's another one of my yesterday acquisitions. This is the last one that I bought, I promise. Yesterday at least. And it's a Waterstones exclusive edition. Oh, signed by the author. I didn't know it was signed by the author. Oh, that's pretty. Okay. It's All the Devils by Caitlin Wilson. It's a Dark Academia story that takes place in an academy called Ravenswood Academy. I just love when things are cliche. Like Ravenswood Academy. Ugh. I know I'm gonna eat this up because I'm just someone that like, I'm as basic as they come. And I really appreciate that about myself. Like I'm really okay with that. Anyways, it's a Waterstone special edition, which means colored edges. Let's see how it looks on the inside. It's just a black book on the inside with like the gold bit above out there. But look here. Oh, personally I despise moths because I find them really gross, but very excited. Also the catchphrase on the back, this year the students at Ravenswood will be raising hell. Huh. I'm gonna love this. I know I'm gonna love this. I also find the black edges really like cool. So yeah, let's put that there. Next up, last pile, baby. Let's go. I need to drink some tea. I've been British-fied. I drink so much tea now, especially in the cozy season or spooky season, however you choose to call it. Although to be fair, and I will say this, summer in Edinburgh this year has been absolutely horrendous. It hasn't existed. I've been cold all summer long because I refuse to not wear summer clothes, and I've just been cold and grumpy all summer. Like it's been horrendous. 0 out of 10 would recommend. Anyways, next up we have The Princess Gambit and The King's Rising by C.S. Packet. These are the second and third books of the Captive Prince trilogy. Now, Captive Prince trilogy comes written with trigger warnings. I don't have enough words to explain how much you should read those trigger warnings before you read these books. But it was also a gift. The first one was a gift that my friends got me for my bachelorette. They gifted me several books. And it was my job to be the decider of whether the books were more good or more terrible. I went ahead and said that they were more good. I like them. I will say, they are weird, they are creepy, they are super awful sometimes. Like the actual actions are really horrible. I like them. I like the politics. I'm a sucker for good politics. I really enjoyed the politics side of things. I thought it was a very interesting system. My friend Julia also liked them. My friend Talia hated them. So Julia got me the second and the third one so that I can read them. I don't know when I'll be reading. I'll probably read the second one shortly, but the third one, because the problem with these is that I need to take a break. Like there's a lot going on while you read these books, guys. Near the end, guys. We're near the end. We have 3 books left. Next up we have Lady Macbeth by Ava Reid. I love Ava Reid so much, so much. I really like The Study in Drowning, and when I heard she was coming up with a new book, I was ecstatic to read it. This one is a retelling of Lady Macbeth, and I was in 2 minds about buying it because, if you've seen, I have a lot of books, but I think it's perfect for the season. Spooky time's upon us, and I am not one to say no to spooky time. So Lady Macbeth by Ava Reid. I feel embarrassed to say this, but I didn't go to British school. Maybe that's a good enough excuse. I've never read Macbeth, like the Shakespeare version. So I'm gonna go at this blindly, and I'm gonna just assume that this is what Macbeth is about, even though I know for a fact it's not. But I'm very excited. Also, the cover, so creepy. Only the French would be able to do a better cover than this. This is in English though, but it's beautiful. It's just stunning. Also, let's look at it on the inside. Oh, it's quite boring on the inside. Well. Lady Macbeth by Ava Reid. So excited. Oh, this is a bit of a chunker. This is When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. First time I read this author's name, I thought it was Sarah Jessica Parker, and I was like, that is one hell of a pivot career-wise, but it's not. Sarah A. Parker. I just bought it because it was popular on TikTok and Instagram. Like, I'm not even gonna pretend. I think there's dragons. Like, I don't know what this book is about. Look how pretty it is. That's why I bought it. I don't even pretend anymore. Look how nice. There's a map. Title page. Map. To the back. Is there a map on the back as well? Maybe. Boom! More map. Is it a different map though? This is the burn. I think it's the same map, but it's on 2 different places, so you can pick whichever one's more convenient for you to double check. I'm very excited. Also, I've heard that this is a fantastic new romantasy series. Love a new romantasy series. And the last book is Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. I love Divine Rivals. My cousin won't read it. My cousin keeps telling me she's gonna read it and then reads weird stuff that she's already read, like Twilight. But I love the first one. I love Divine Rivals so much. I read it in a day. It was such a cozy read. And I really wanted to get the second one. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. And my friend Saskia got it for me for my birthday. I'm very excited to read it. And because it's me, I have a piece of wrapping paper inside it. And on the first one, like the first book, Divine Rivals, ended up in a massive cliffhanger. So I'm very keen on getting started with this one. That's it. That's all the books I bought. That was so long. That's been almost 20 minutes of me just showing you guys books that I've just purchased in the last few months. I'm not sorry. It is what it is. I am so happy with my little floor pile. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and put them in my bookshelf and decide what it is I'm gonna write. So let's go put all of this in my bookshelf, because also I have to alphabetize them, which is gonna take a lot of time, because that just means I need to start shifting stuff around. But it's fine. We persevere. This too shall pass. I'm also not buying any more books until the end of the year, I don't think, because this is a ridiculous amount of books I just shown you. Especially because I'm pretty sure I have over 100 unread books now on my TBR shelf, which I actually think it's not okay. Like, actually, seriously, don't think that's okay. That's too much. That's too much, Mar. It's too much. Okay. My tea's gone cold. All right, let's get going. Let's get putting this in the bookshelves. I also took like 2.5 hour break because we had to go to groceries. But we're back with alphabetized, categorized, and stored all of our books back in the bookshelf, which I think is fantastic news. Really good news, actually. Now, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna decide what books I'm gonna be reading next, keeping in mind kind of what I have coming up in the next few months. So I think to start with, I'm gonna read, right after I finish the one that I'm currently reading, Rouge by Mona Awad, because my mother-in-law has already read it and we're gonna go see him next week. So I think it'd be fun if we could chat about it. So definitely this one. That was a really squeaky wheel. So we will definitely be reading Mona Awad's Rouge. I really want to read Legends and Lattes. It sounds fun. It sounds easy. It sounds cozy. I don't know if you can tell, but it's super gloomy outside today. So, and it's only gonna get worse. So Legends and Lattes I think will be a good thing as well. Lee Bardugo's The Familiars could be a good shot. It's very spooky season, right? It feels spooky season-y to me. Yep. Oh, I really want to read Shield Maiden. I got this as a wedding gift from my friends Julie and Julia. Well, they got me a voucher and I used it to buy this one, and I would really like to read it. It's about, I don't know. It's about like Norse mythology, which I really like. So I want to read it. This one too. Oh, Last Tale of the Flower Bride, potentially as well. Feels spooky to me. Maybe. Oh, I want to read the one my dad gave me, actually. The real estate one. This is definitely one that I'm going to be reading, I think, in the next couple of weeks. Starting a new job shortly, so probably I will read it for that one. Oh, okay, so we're reading this one for my book club with my friends. So definitely will be reading this one by the 18th of October. This is my promise to you girlies. I will be consuming this literature. But also, I really want to read the Absolute book. I feel like it's perfect spooky vibes, so definitely that one. I probably lost count of what I've said. Oh, damn it. Oh, okay. The Night Circus by Erin Morgenson. We'll be consuming this super soon because I have to. Ooh, you know what? I'll read The Princess Gambit as well. That's the other way around. There we go. I'll read The Princess Gambit as well. Ooh, I want to read When the Moon Hatched as well. Oh, okay. I'll definitely read this one because this is like super. Okay, this is ridiculous. I cannot read this many books, but this is. I want to read this one shortly. I definitely want to read Ruthless Vows. I'm thinking I have a weekend off that Greg's gonna be gone, so I'm thinking I'll probably read this one then. Why not? What's next, my dudes? I really want to read at least one of these, if not both, this year. So by the Stacey Stark ones, Courts So This Cruel and Lovely, and A Kingdom This Cursed and Empty. And you know what? Dark Academia Time, All the Devils by Caitlin Wilson. I think that this is. I should have probably written this down. Like, next thing I'm gonna have to do is kind of go through this clip and just write everything down. Oh, I'm also reading for my book club for November. We're reading Marina by Carla Ruiz Zafón. Probably read it, but I read it when I was 8, which is really inappropriate. I don't advise doing that. But I read it when I was 8, and so I want to refresh of that one. But yeah, this is kind of how my TBR shelf is looking now. And I am fully aware that that is a ridiculous amount of books. I think it's over 100. So if you're wondering how much books you can fill in 4 shelves of the Billy bookcase in IKEA, over 100. But I think that that's it for today. Like, I need to kind of take a sit and admire the disaster that I've done with all of these books and go from there, because it is ridiculous. I am somewhat self-aware, but alas, for now we're just gonna admire them from afar. Hopefully finish the book that I'm reading so I can start Rouge today as well. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, like, subscribe, all that jazz. You can also find me on my Instagram, which is also at Book and Prejudice, and I will see you guys next week. Bye bye!